So if you watched last week's video, you know that my boyfriend Kobe just moved into my studio apartment, or should I say our studio apartment, and you're now watching part 2 of our moving in vlog. And this part is going to be all about organizing the chaos that has descended upon us, aka Kobe's stuff that we are now going to integrate into the studio and store away, go through, eliminate some things, and basically Marie Kondo the shit out of this place. I am not my best self when I am surrounded by this level of clutter. But today we shall be remedying that. So if you're living in a really small space and storage and organization is a top concern of yours, whether or not you're living alone or with a significant other, you're gonna wanna watch this video because as you can see, this is going to be a challenge in a 500 square foot studio. So if we can do this, anyone can. And we're gonna share exactly how we do this. Do you wanna say hi to the camera, Kobe?
Hi to the camera, Kobe.
And if you're new to my channel, my name is Steffi, and I'm the creator of the interior style blog Moda Misfit. Moto Misfit? It's like my motorcycle club. I'm the creator of the interior style blog Moda Misfit, as well as the online course Small Apartment Styling School, and you're watching Living Pretty, the place for apartment styling tips. All right, my love, are you ready?
Yeah!
All right, so we are going to get started. This is basically what we're working with right now. We're just gonna dive right in. So just like part 1 of this moving vlog series, which I'll link to below, I'll be sharing some moving tips throughout this video. And my first tip is to start this process with a big ol' hug. Because moving in together means embarking on a long, strenuous journey, and shit's about to get real. You need all the serotonin you can get, so hug it out. I'll organize you. So this is how Kobe and I are sorting through his stuff. We came up with our own little method we call our double D method. I know that either sounds like a fast food hamburger or a bra size, but whatevs. In which we sort things into 4 different categories: donate, dump, display, or disguise. Anything in the donate pile is to be donated to Goodwill. Anything in the dump pile will be tossed. Anything in the display pile is stuff we'd like to display as decor in here. And anything in the disguise pile will be stored away, disguised by one of our closets. That's our proprietary double D method we came up with in a matter of seconds before starting to go through Kobe's stuff. So help yourself to using it the next time you're organizing. Move over, KonMari method. Double D is here.
Art. For the sake of art. Art.
Art.
Box 1. Complete.
All right. Yay! So we continued this double D process, box by box. That's really my next tip. Take things box by box. In other words, take it one thing at a time and just power through it. Going through Kobe's stuff box by box without thinking about everything else we had to tackle in the apartment as a whole made it so this felt so much more manageable and less overwhelming. We went box by box for a few hours before we felt ready to stop for the day. So it is 4 o'clock and we have been at it for several hours now, and we have, I think, finally gotten to the point where we can organize no more for the day. So we're going to chill out for the rest of the night and pick things back up later. Now, if you looked around the space right now, you would think that we didn't get anything done in all these hours. In fact, you would think we made even an even bigger mess of things. But we actually got a lot done, and we're feeling really good about the progress we made. And so that is one lesson I'll leave you with, which is sometimes progress is invisible, and don't let that discourage you, especially when it comes to a big move-in project like this. You're not really going to see the progress for a bit, but that doesn't mean that you're not making progress. So we feel like we've gotten a good chunk done today, and honestly, I just need to stop doing this right now. And that's another lesson I think I would leave with you, is know when to stop. Just for your own sanity. So now I am going to peace the F out and eat some mac and cheese. The organization shall commence tomorrow. It's actually not the next day after the previous segment of the video. It's actually been a couple days. We have been living amongst the clutter for over a week now, and this leads me to my next tip, because this whole experience really has been a fascinating exercise for me in just going with the flow, practicing patience, and not rushing things. So my tip here is a tip that I never would have envisioned myself actually saying, and that is to embrace slowness. Sometimes going slow and not frantically rushing through something as big as having a significant other move in, sometimes not rushing that is the best thing that you can do. For one thing, the fact that Kobe and I have taken this very slowly has made it so that I can actually enjoy his company and enjoy the fact that we're making this big step together, and it's fun and it's romantic and it's something we've been looking forward to for so long. And we've been able to actually take things slow and enjoy each other's company. What a novel concept, right? And this is something I never would have expected myself to embrace, because I get very uptight about things like this. The normal Steffi would have steamrolled through this process frantically and would have micromanaged everything, and it just wouldn't have been as pleasant of an experience. Oh, the things we find when we're organizing stuff. These are from my Morgiana cosplay when I went to SakuraCon a few years back. It's always fun when your boyfriend finds some kinky looking shackles in your closet.
I know what we're doing afterwards.
Another aspect of the approach that I'm personally taking to this overwhelming task is something I mentioned in the last video as well, which is self-care. Before diving into doing something like this with your significant other, make sure you take care of yourself first. Make it so that you are in your best possible state of mind, because not only will this lead to a more productive moving and organizing experience, but it'll also make it so that there's less fighting involved. It's very easy to slip into arguments when dealing with something like this, so it's best if both parties involved are well taken care of, well rested, well fed, and just in the best possible state of mind. So this morning I took a long walk first thing in the morning. Recently I've started adopting this new habit of taking walks in the morning, about half hour to an hour long walks. And on a day like today, when I'm about to tackle something like this, the normal Steffi would have skipped the walk and just gotten straight to work. Because again, the normal Steffi is so uptight that the idea of letting any of this clutter sit for longer than it has to would just not happen. But again, since we're not rushing and we're not being frantic about this, I decided to spend the first hour of the morning taking a nice long walk around Seattle through the nearby park, and it was great for the mind. I will admit it helps that I happen to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, in my opinion. So anytime you can take a nice, scenic, leisurely walk, that will be good for your brain. All right, so now we are going to get started on phase 2 of the unpacking and organizing process. So here's what we've done so far. As you saw in the previous part of this video from a couple days ago, we began sorting things into different piles. And those were donate, dump, display, or disguise. And so this is kind of the result of that. So this is stuff we're donating. Wait, are we donating this pillow?
No, did you accidentally get on there?
Yeah.
No, it just makes
we don't want to get rid of this. We just got this. So yes, this is donate stuff, this box. And then we still have to go through some stuff over here. This is our disguise, aka store away pile. And we are going to try to fit that in the closet, I believe, as well as this. And then we also still have to go through these boxes, and I believe this is disguise. And also, just to show you what we've done off camera, Kobe, in all of his organization wizardry, has sorted all these books and done so in a very efficient and organized way. So, very grateful for that. Honestly, this is really where having a walk-in closet is. Oh, hi. This is where having a walk-in closet really, really comes in handy because we have all this storage and now it's just a matter of making the most of it. We also started filling this up. This is where the ramen is being stored, the copious amounts of ramen that Kobe came with. Fun fact about that, the whole reason why Kobe has all that ramen is actually because my dad went to Costco and just bought a shit ton of ramen, and we are the benefactors of this ramen rainfall. Is that the word? Rainfall? Windfall. This ramen windfall. So one thing we tackled today was organizing and optimizing space in this closet, which Kobe kicked ass at. I'm telling you, I always thought of myself as an organized person, but Kobe's organization skills make me feel like the junk lady in Labyrinth. He has a true talent for this. I mean, look at how seamlessly he fit that shelving in there. There didn't used to be space for that in there. And look at him get that shoe rack in. I mean, what sorcery is this? I was convinced that wasn't gonna fit. And don't even get me started on how perfectly he was able to stack our suitcases. Showing you all this feels borderline pornographic. It's so satisfying. Oh yeah, she slid right in.
Yep. Man, I'm so good.
Yeah,
I impressed myself.
That was really badass. Here's another tip that has been fundamental in what we've accomplished so far with this moving in and organizing process, and that is to relinquish control. Another one of my tendencies is that I can be a little bit of a control freak, and so something I've done is just let Kobe take care of a lot of things. Let Kobe decide how to organize the kitchen. Let him figure out a new way of arranging things and accept the fact that in a lot of ways, he's better at that than I am. I don't have to control everything. I'm working on it. And on that very zen-like note, I'm gonna conclude this second part of our moving vlog series. The rest of this unpacking, organizing phase was spent continuing our double D method and simply putting things away. So you pretty much have seen the extent of it. But next week will be the third and final installment of this epic trilogy in which Kobe and I are gonna set out to incorporate his decor into the apartment. So stay tuned. For daily glimpses into our studio apartment life, follow me on Instagram at moda.misfit. And for regular doses of small apartment styling tips, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when a new video goes up every week. And remember, your apartment, whether you're living alone or with a significant other, is destined to be pretty, and you are pretty powerful.